decomposition reaction. Decomp's a breakup. Like Taylor Swift said, we're never, ever, ever getting back together. What basically happens, how do you know a decomp? If you notice, you only have one thing on the left-hand side. So you only have one thing on the left-hand side. The natural thing that you have to do is then break them up. There's really 4 kinds of decomps. There's the easy one, where you only have 2 elements. You just split them. So like right here, HI, you just go H plus I. But look for the gangster diatomics, because remember, H, N, O, F, Cl, I, Br. If any of those can't be by themselves, you have to hit them with a little 2 and then balance. So you got that one. If you notice here, two elements, so I know it's decomp, or only one thing it's decomp. 2 elements is a simple decomp. I break a copper, and then I put oxygen in the 2 because it's diatomic. What I would suggest is write these on the top of your test before you start, so you can use it as a reference table. So those are the easy ones, and then you just balance them. Again, I'm not going to show you the balancing because I assume you can balance. Now we get into the memorization part of it. So if we look, the first one is what happens when you have a carbonate decompose. So if something's a carbonate, so like for example, if you look right here, you have, that has a carbonate, CO3. Here's the rule. If you have a carbonate, a metal carbonate, or carbonate is on the left-hand side, it will automatically break into CO2. You have to memorize that. So this would be a metal with a carbonate. And then what you do is plus, you're going to make a metal oxide. When we talk about a metal oxide, what are we talking about? All we're saying is crisscross it with O2 minus. So whatever the metal is, I bring over here, crisscross applesauce, and I get a metal oxide there. So for example, if I had calcium carbonate, CaCO3 as a solid, I know it's a decomp reaction. First thing is I see CO3, I write CO2, boom shakalaka. I take the metal, I'm going to bring the metal over. I know I have to crisscross it with O2 minus. So remember, Ca, look at your periodic table, is 2 plus. I end up with CaO, boom. There you go, completed reaction. The only thing you have to do at that point is check the balancing. Next thing, when I go to look at this one, CD CO3. So I have CD CO3. If you look, it's a solid, so the sucker's going to decomp. As soon as I see CO3, I know it breaks into CO2, so I write it automatically. I write CO2 plus. That means crisscross applesauce. I take the CD cadmium, I bring it over, and I know I have to cross with O2 minus, gets me CDO. Bam, you're good to go and you balance. First type has to be memorized. Second kind of decomp that you have to memorize. Second type is going to be a hydroxide. Hydroxides decompose into a metal oxide and water. So the water is what you really have to memorize. So what we do is I come over here. Notice I have lead hydroxide right here, so I'm going to go PB parentheses OH parentheses 2. Automatically, I see hydroxide. I know on the right, like a robot, I am a robot. You write water on the right-hand side. Plus, I know I'm always going to cross it. I'm making a metal oxide. So that means I take a metal and an oxide and I crisscross. Bam, bam. So I take the lead, which in this case happens to be 2 plus, bring it over here. So lead Pb2 plus, crisscross it over here, I get PbO. Alright, so like if you look here, if you look right here when I go to do the last one, let me see here. Alright, what did I just do? Learning how to work a computer. All right, the last one. The last one is chlorates. Chlorates are even easier. Slight adjustment though. So when you talk about a chlorate is chloride, perchlorate, or hypochlorite. You're basically going to produce a metal chloride. So it's only, these are oxides. This one you're just crossing with Cl, and your automatic is going to be oxygen. So when I go to break this down, look at this right here. I look, I see COO3. I automatically write O2. That means then I just have to take my metal, and in this case, I'm making a metal chloride instead of an oxide. So all I'm going to do is take Cl minus and the metal, and I'm going to crisscross it. So I'm going to take the metal, which is K, I bring it over, K is plus 1, Cl is minus 1. So ultimately I will have O2 plus KCl. And then on the left-hand side is what I originally started with. You have a decomposition reaction listed there. That's a decomposition reaction. It breaks down, all chlorides break down into oxygen and then a metal chloride. So just know you crisscross with fluoride, positive first, negative second.